Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us for this session of the Whole of Society Talks. My name is Sagar. I serve as the Vice Chair of the GEF CSO Network, where I also lead the policy work. I have the pleasure of hosting this series, and it is great to see familiar faces returning, and a warm welcome to those of you joining for the very first time. Let me quickly share what this series is and what to expect today. The Whole of Society Talks are a series of open conversation on the simple idea. If we are serious about whole of society approach, then we need to hear from the whole of society, including grassroots groups, indigenous organizations, youth networks, and civil society actors doing the work on the ground. Across our earlier sessions, we looked at how communities access GEF funding, how inclusion can move from commitments to practice, where GEF-9 resources should go, and what inclusion looks like in action. One message came back again and again. Action alone is not enough. Entry barriers, unclear processes, and limited support keep many smaller and first-time civil society organizations from applying with confidence. Today, we respond to that directly. GEF-9 has now begun, and the CSO challenge is open for applications. So this session is a friendly, open space where you can hear directly from the people behind the program and the review, and ask your questions before you apply. Here's how the hour will run. First, a short keynote from the Small Grants Program. We will hear briefly, then we'll hear briefly from IUCN on what they hope to see from the CSOs. After that, RTI will take us through the program and the application process step by step. We will then open the floor for you for about 20 minutes of questions. So if there is one thing you take away from today, let it be this. The people who review these applications are here in this room to help you apply with confidence. A quick note on logistics. Please drop your questions in the chat or using the question answer feature as they come to you with your name and organization, if you're comfortable. I will bring them in during the open floor. And if you have questions about the network itself or anything not tied to the challenge, colleagues from the CSO network are in the chat, and they will be more than happy to help you with that. With that, let me introduce our first speaker. Some of you may remember Gabriella from our very first session. Gabriella leads the GEF Small Grants program, which had channeled over $1.5 billion to civil society across 136 countries. With 25 years in social inclusion and conservation, her principle is simple. Conservation works when people come first. Gabriella, over to you for a short keynote on how SGP and where we are today.
Thank you so much, Sagar, and thank you everyone for being here, and really great to be here together with the CSO Network. And again, really big thanks for the CSO Network for organizing these talks. And I'm really excited to be here today, and I'm also happy to see our partners here from IUCN and RTI joining. And it's really an exciting event because we will learn more, and you will especially learn, hopefully, much more about this exciting new program that is embedded within the GEF Small Grants Program, in short, SGP. The CSO Challenge Program was launched as in the beginning of, or was developed during the GEF-8 replenishment phase. And so now we're really, really excited to finally come to the time and the moment to really launch it. But let me take a little time and just provide like a brief context of how this challenge program is sitting within the larger family of the GEF Small Grants Program. As Sagar already, I think, mentioned, the SGP, the GEF SGP has been one of our longest standing corporate program of the GEF. It has served for over 30 years as a key mechanism for the GEF to extend financial and technical and capacity building support to local communities, civil society organizations, indigenous peoples, women and youth groups around the world. And we have been active in over 136 countries with this program. And as Sagar mentioned, we've had over the last 30 years provided close to $1.5 billion with 30,000 grants given to community-based organizations. And you can imagine that this is, and it's growing, it's becoming larger and larger. It started out as a small pilot in the 1992, and has now grown to one of the largest programs, corporate programs of the GEF. As I was saying, the SGP is really a demand-driven, locally based, country-based program. So it's really decentralized. It operates at the country level. So all countries receives SGP financing, and then the country themselves are organized through national steering committees, who then do call for proposals for civil society to apply for grants. So it's really a decentralized model. But it has been extremely successful, and our independent evaluation office and other evaluations that we've done on this program is really, really showing how these small grants have great impacts on the ground, both in terms of results, environmental results, but also livelihood results. But as we were looking into GEF-8 in 2022, we were looking at exploring opportunities to enhance the scale and scope of the program even further. And this is sort of where this idea of the challenge program came about, really trying new models to extend financing to civil society around the globe. And we were so excited when IUCN expressed their interest to lead this program on behalf of the GEF family. And as you all know, the IUCN has a long track record in supporting inclusion and community-led conservation initiatives across the globe. So we're extremely happy that IUCN took on this challenge to lead the challenge program. So I'm not going to go into detail of what the challenge program is, because I know we have RTI, who is the executing entity for the challenge programs and working closely with IUCN. And we will hear more from Justin and Josh on how the program works. But bottom line, the small grants program, the sort of the core program, has smaller grants. It has grants up to 75,000, but usually hovers around 20 to 50,000. And this program, we were really looking at scaling up, or providing opportunities for scaling up for more, for potentially larger organizations that could take on sort of further financing, and is really it's really about that scaling up and providing additional financing to civil society. But you will hear much more from Justin. So I think with that, again, I just want to really thank you all and thank the CSO Network for organizing this, and for IUCN and RTI as our partners, and of course all of you that are joining here to learn more about this exciting program. So thank you so much. Over to you, Sagar.
Thank you so much, Gabriella. Let me now bring in Joshua from IUCN. Joshua manages IUCN's portfolio of the GEF and GCF funded projects worldwide, worth more than $55 million, and previously coordinated the restoration initiative across 3 agencies and 10 countries. His career spans the GEF Evaluation Office, the World Bank's Carbon Finance Unit, and Duke's Nicholas Institute, from evaluation to finance to field delivery. Josh, let me start with you. Before we get into the how to apply detail, could you tell our audience what you are looking for in this challenge and what you hope to see from the CSOs? And IUCN has been involved in plenty of other GEF projects, also as Gabriella mentioned, over the years. So it would be great to hear a little of that experience too, and how it shapes the way you approach this one.
Oh, thanks so much. Hi, colleagues, partners, guests. Thanks very much, Sagar of the GEF CSO Network, for inviting us to talk for this and join this whole society talk organized by the GEF CSO Network. And thanks very much to everyone for tuning in to this session where we will introduce and provide some information on the GEF CSO Challenge Program. I'm Josh Schneck, and I serve as a portfolio manager for IUCN's global GEF supported programs and projects, and I'm one of the many people at IUCN and RTI that are helping to bring this GEF CSO Challenge Program to life. Briefly, and I don't want to repeat what Gabriella has shared or what Justin will provide more of the details, but the GEF CSO Challenge Program, it's a new and exciting pilot program of the GEF Small Grants Program that many of you are already familiar with, while sharing a lot of the DNA of the GEF Small Grants Program in terms of its overall objectives and support to CSO-led conservation and work. The GEF CSO Challenge Program has a number of distinguishing features. These include larger grants up to $300,000, a separate global program selection committee that does not work through the GEF SGP national steering committees, although the national steering committees are essential partners and they have been engaged in helping to spread the word about this opportunity to eligible CSOs. And we've also designed a unique set of demand-driven tailored supports to winning CSOs that include technical support for linking with aligned work and initiatives, and extensive support for knowledge capture and exchange and communications. So with this program, the GEF, IUCN and partners, we're looking to recognize CSOs that have a proven track record of impact and solutions and initiatives that are ready to expand, replicate, and scale, and that can really benefit from this program support and have the capacities to manage a grant of this size. For those maybe unfamiliar with IUCN, we are a membership union of both state and non-state organizations, including over 800 CSOs. So supporting CSO-led conservation is an essential part of what we do and what we believe in. And so we were really thrilled that GEF is expanding its support for CSO conservation and through this program, and we're very excited about the potential to recognize and support some truly outstanding CSO organizations doing important environmental conservation work. So this program will operate through a competitive, open, transparent, inclusive call for proposals from CSOs. My colleagues from RTI will tell you more about these calls and the eligibility criteria and more. With the funding envelope that we have for this program from the GEF and co-funding, we'll be able to support at least 24 outstanding CSOs over the 4-year lifespan of this program. And we will also recognize an equal number of semi-finalist CSOs that will have access to the program's community of practice, be recognized and supported in developing case studies that capture and communicate their great work. I just want to say on behalf of IUCN, we're truly grateful to GEF's trust and support in IUCN and helping to entrusting us to lead this program. Grateful to our lead executing partner, RTI, who's doing an outstanding job in developing the global infrastructure and leading and coordinating the operations of the program. And we are grateful to our key partners, including the GEF CSO Network, for whom we really rely upon in disseminating this opportunity far and wide to eligible CSOs. Along with the chance to help identify and support CSOs that otherwise would be, I would say, invisible or under the radar of organizations, even IUCN, a robust response to this call for proposals from CSOs will help in further strengthening the case to donor countries that there's a huge demand and support for CSO-led conservation, and CSOs have solutions that are already making a huge difference in helping to achieve shared environmental goals. So with that, I will stop and turn it over to my colleagues from RTI. I can't wait to meet and see all the amazing, inspiring CSOs that will be supported through this program. So thanks very much again.
Thank you, Josh. That is a great set of details. And with that, let me now hand over to Dr. Justin Larson from RTI International, who will take us into the program itself and walk us through how to apply. Justin is an energy economist with more than 15 years across North America, Asia, and the Asia Pacific. Beyond analysis, he delivers in the field, including grant management under Power Africa, working directly with the grantees to strengthen implementation and compliance. Justin, over to you to take us into the program and the application process step by step.
Wonderful, thank you. And just to confirm, can you see my screen okay? Sharing the application window?
Yes, it is visible.
Great. So I know I had a slide deck pulled up, but I think this actually will be a little bit easier first. So one, thank you for the intro. Thank you for the colleagues as well. And thank you for everyone attending and for the interesting questions we've received already. So we've received for the entire portfolio, almost 1,000 registered users on the grant portal, hundreds of questions. This interest is really exciting. We're really happy to see the level of engagement. So what I am going to do first, though, is walk through where everything is located. I think some of the questions we've been receiving could be answered just with the materials that are available right now. And I'll also add, from the webinar that we had done a couple weeks ago, there's been additional materials uploaded to answer some of those questions. So to start, everything is on the program website. So this is csochallenge.org. Landing page should look like this. And then if you go up to apply, you'll see the current open window. So currently the only open window is for Eastern Europe, Caucasus, and Central Asia. The other regions will open soon and they'll be run in parallel. The application process is two-stage. So right now it is just a concept note and it is a PDF application. Those successful applicants from the concept note stage will then be invited for a full proposal. The two-step process is to ensure that you, as the applicant, don't go through the effort of a full-blown proposal and then, unfortunately, are not successful later on. So we want to try to limit the amount of effort and labor, but still get the right information to make a good decision. Right, and because of the current region, right now the proposals are only submitted in English. French and Spanish are not terribly relevant for this region, but the application documents are currently being translated and will be available in French, Spanish, and in some areas Portuguese for the future regions. Right, so when you go to this Apply tab, you'll see a very brief overview of the application process. You'll see the current timeline. Please note that the deadline has been extended due to that amount of interest that we've received, the amount of questions. We've extended the deadline to accommodate. And then here you'll also see some links to materials and resources. Right? If you click on the concept note, it'll show you the PDF. All applications, all concept note proposals must be submitted via the PDF and via the grant portal. No email submissions will be allowed. No Word submissions will be allowed. This is to keep things fair and a level playing field for all applicants. If you do have issues with the grant portal, we've had some one-on-one with folks and walk them through. Please send a message and we're happy to work with you to figure out what's the problem. Also, please note, no late applications will be allowed. The grant portal will close at the closing time. We cannot accept any late applications via email past the deadline. Right, so that's the application itself. Now, in terms of resources, there's a resource tab, and there's a few things here that I really want you to pay attention to. So first is the guidelines for applicants. This goes into detail for the concept note phase about what's eligible, what's not eligible, what you should be working towards, what maybe you should de-emphasize. A lot of the questions we've received so far are answered in this document. So please, before you dive into Q&A or you dive into the application process, please ensure that you have read this thoroughly. And like I said, this will be translated for other languages, for the other regions. For the current call, it is only available in English. Right, so you'll see the application process at a glance. You'll see guidelines and guidance in terms of eligibility, priority areas with some examples of different projects, previously funded projects within those priority areas. All of that information is here. Just really want to emphasize this because a lot of our questions so far are answered in this document. Right, so aside from the guidance document, also want to highlight some additional resources that are available now. One is the webinar. So we hosted a webinar about 2 weeks ago. Full recording is here. I have about a 45-minute slide deck that I walk through, highlighting in detail the whole process. So once again, look at the guidance document. Please watch the webinar if you have additional questions. And then the first round of Q&A, all of those are here. So there were, I think, about 50 questions, 45. All the questions, including some that had a lot of overlap with similarity, we've posted up for everyone to see. So to keep things fair, we do not answer one-on-one questions unless they're just technical, meaning someone's having issues accessing the grant portal. If you ask a question about eligibility, if you ask a question about the call itself, we will provide that answer to the entire pool of applicants. We want to keep things as fair and level as a playing field for everyone involved. Okay, so let me see. I think that's about it for our current resources. In terms of the actual portal, so you'll register first. Once you register, you can log in. If you have issues at this stage, double check you do not have a VPN. Make sure you don't have any security software that might be causing issues. We have noticed for some folks that a VPN does cause issues for the human authentication. All right, and then once you log in, it should roughly look like this, right? So you can look at your applications, you can apply for the grant, choose the grant that you're applying for, and then you can also send messages. So there's 2 ways that you can communicate. You can send an email, so my email address is currently listed, or you can message through the portal. Great. Okay, I'll make sure I didn't miss anything here. So we talked through the concept note, we talked through the timeline, talked through the resources. Country list. So a common question that we're receiving is my country eligible, or the country that I want to work in eligible? That can be answered here. So this is on the resources page. This is the current list of eligible countries by region, by call, right? So there'll be a call for Africa, a call for Latin America and the Caribbean. The current call, Eastern Europe, Caucasus, and Central Asia. If your country is not listed, it is currently not eligible. If you do have an additional question, if you want to understand why, you're more than welcome to ask. But right now, this is the current list of eligible countries. Great. Okay, so with that, I'm actually going to hand the mic back. But we had a slide deck, but we pretty much covered most of it, and that leaves some additional time for Q&A.
Thank you very much, Justin. Before we open the floor, a quick question from the review side. When you read the application, so you showed us how to apply, but when you read the applications, what makes one stand out? What are you looking for on the projects?
So I'm going to give you actually a little bit of a longer answer. So
Please.
First we check for compliance. Pay attention to the eligibility criteria, pay attention to the thresholds. So for example, in the form, there's an amount or a line for entering the amount being requested. But note that the cap is $300,000. Do not put an amount higher than $300,000, otherwise your application will be disqualified. So compliance is first. Make sure that everything that you're putting into the application, into the concept note and then full proposal, aligns with the eligibility criteria. Then after compliance, you need to make sure that you're meeting the priority areas, that you are a CSO organization, that you're maximizing impact for the dollars being asked for. And co-financing is another leg up as well. Not required, but if you have a solid co-financing plan or partner, that of course is going to make you a stronger applicant. But I also see Josh, I don't know if you wanted to chime in as well. So you come off the camera there.
Oh, no, you do a great job. I guess maybe this big picture. So this program targets CSOs operating in the same 5 SGP strategic areas that the broader SGP program works on. So that includes sustainable agriculture, fisheries and food security, chemicals and waste management, including plastic pollution abatement, mercury pollution abatement, and so on, community-based management of threatened ecosystems and species, low carbon energy access, and sustainable urban solutions. The selection criteria, which is in all of the material online that Justin referred to, but essentially it's there's a couple of key criteria that we have. They include a proven track record of achievement. So the proposals really need to be based on existing work, not just a concept, and demonstrate the viability of the proposed initiative. I should say former SGP grantees are very much eligible to apply, but it's not at all a requirement to have been a prior SGP grantee, but the program is absolutely eligible for former and current SGP grantees that can benefit from this program. The potential to generate global environmental benefits is of course a key factor. Innovation here, and really in the broad sense, it could be a new model, it could be a new technology, it could be new partners. Really, the broad sense of what is something that's innovative and that can bring something new to addressing environmental challenges. Financial viability, co-funding, and sustainability, as Justin mentioned. I mean, we really want to see that the proposal that is being put forward is viable. So it's not necessarily co-funding for co-funding's sake, but it's really like, what is the CSO proposing to do, and did they have the resources together with the grant from the GEF to really make it happen. Scalability, a commitment to shared learning. This is really a drop in the ocean in terms of the amount of money to solve world's environmental challenges, as everybody knows here. So what we really want to do with this program is capture and inspire and communicate and inspire our people to adopt and replicate solutions. Just very briefly, I was going over the selection criteria for the CSOs that apply to the program. Proven achievement, potential to generate global environmental benefits, innovation here in a very broad sense, financial viability, the scalability, commitment to shared learning. So really kind of a key mechanism that we see helping increase the impact of this is to capture and share and communicate CSOs in the world. And so one of the ways is by supporting each CSO that is supported through this program, including the semi-finalists, to develop a case study that captures their work and can share it using a platform that IUCN has developed called Panorama. It's developed with PAF support. It's that's key mechanisms we
All right.
All right, let me stop there. Sorry.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Josh. Thank you, Justin. I am going to open the floor now. So for all of you on the call, if you have questions, you can either raise your hand. First, we'll go over to the questions that's in the chat. I already see there's a lot of questions, really good questions. So maybe, and the question is about which countries are eligible, right? So I believe Justin shared this briefly before, but Justin, maybe this is something you could highlight on the different reasons and when the application is going to come out. There are questions about whether Uganda is eligible, Nigeria, Kenya, and a few other countries. Do you want to share a bit more on that?
I can also just quickly come in just before Justin. I just want to highlight that the eligible countries are all those countries are eligible for GEF 8 financing. So it follows the same rules that we have for all GEF financing, and we have 144 countries in our list of eligible countries. So the countries that is also covering in the CSO Challenge program are those countries that can receive GEF financing. So if there are countries that cannot receive GEF financing. So if they're not on the list, they're not on this list either. Just to give that as a context.
Yeah. The other question, if I may, is how is it different from SGP? I think this is a question for you, Gabriella.
It is, I can see that some people might be a little bit unclear on how it's different, but it is in fact very different. The SGP is really this country mechanisms that that there is run by the SGP National Steering Committee, and the grants are much smaller, as we say. They are really in a smaller size now, up to 75,000, but most of the grants, as I said, is around 50,000. The other difference here is that for the challenge program, we're looking for really proven solutions or activities or approaches. It's not to develop a new initiative or something. It is really about that you have proven already that you have a successful approach, solution, action, activity, or something like that. And that's what Justin was outlining, that is the background that you have to provide. And that is some of the things that we will look at when we are reviewing the applications is, is this really ongoing? Like I said in the beginning, it's a little bit of identifying proven projects and approaches, as well as to reward them and give them the opportunity to scale up even further. So those are sort of some of the major differences for this program. And it's really complementary funding. This is not taking any funding from the small grants program in any given country. So I just that was a little bit quick overview.
Yeah, thank you, Gabriella. There is a hand up from Anadi. Please unmute your microphone and you may ask the question, and then we will go to the rest of the questions from the chat.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anedi from Nigeria. I actually have seen that African countries are eligible to apply, but in the call, we have seen that this particular call is strictly for other countries, and Africa is not part of them. So my question is, from this meeting, we are being told that all areas are eligible to apply. What happens to the segmented timetable that we see that in August 1st is Africa and other regions, whereas in the call, Africa is not stated?
Yeah, happy to answer this one. So currently the only call that's open is for the East Europe, Caucasus, and Central Asia. The other three regions will open in parallel, tentatively August 1st. They will not open earlier than August 1st. There might potentially be some shifting or delaying in the opening, but current planning is August 1st for Africa, Latin America, the Caribbean, and Asia Pacific.
Okay. So we'll have to wait until that time before we apply?
Yes, please. But in the meantime, please look at the materials. Please start working on your idea. The eligibility criteria will be the same. The only thing that's different, of course, is the countries.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I take another hand.
Another question, please.
Please go ahead.
Okay. We often see in calls where they talk about experience. Have you worked with GEF before? So we that are upcoming organizations that have not had the chance to work with GEF, what are our chances in terms of experience?
Justin?
Hello?
Yeah. Are you able to take this?
Sure. So of course, working with GEF in the past is not a requirement. We encourage applicants that have not worked with GEF in the past to please apply. It's difficult to say competitiveness because it all depends on the final pool of applicants. Noting that though, I really doubt that the full final pool of successful applicants will all have past GEF experience, right? So the goal is to promote CSOs doing good work with proven ideas. The goal is not just to fund past GEF recipients. So if you have a good idea, you can demonstrate the impact, you can show that it has worked in the past and that this funding will be catalytic in scaling it up. That's most important. Past GEF experience is not the most important criteria.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I will quickly take a question from the chat and then we go back to the order. There is a question: how many submissions a CSO can make for GEF SGP? I believe you're referring to the challenge program. How many projects can one civil society organization apply for? Justin, or maybe Gabriella. Both of you could jump in.
Oh, you're on mute, Gabriella.
I think you, Justin, you take that one.
So you can apply twice, but only as a lead applicant, but only one award will be made. So you can also attach yourself as a partner to other applicants, but as a lead applicant, you have 2 opportunities, but you will only be given 1 award.
Thank you. Let's go to the next question from John. John, do you want to go next? John Kadima, you have your hand up.
I'm Mariam Kabamba from the GFC. I just wanted to ask a question about the co-financing, because I see one application from FAO where they were like, you have to, about the money you are asking. If you ask, for example, $50,000, you need to provide the 15,000 co-financing. Not only that, you don't have to bring it from a corporate. Let's say a company or a mining company give you some money, you don't have to fix it, only your own money. So I just want to ask about the co-financing. Can I provide the money for a company, for a mining company, or it must be only the money that is in our organization? And also, what is the percentage of a co-financing compared to the money we are requesting? Thank you.
Thank you, John. Sorry, thank you, Miriam. Gabriella or Justin, do you want to react?
Yeah, I can clarify that pretty quickly. So co-financing is actually not a requirement. There is no minimum threshold for matching. Co-financing, of course, will make your application more competitive, but it is not a requirement. Hope that answers the question. Or Gabriella, is there anything you wanted to add as well?
Thank you. Next question from Edward. Edward, please unmute your microphone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Edward is my name. I'm coming from Kenya. I work within the coastal marine ecosystems. I just wanted to understand about the link between this call with the IUCN and the Panorama is it portal? And then 2, if you cannot apply as an organization, as a loan organization, is it possible also to do a partnership, like two organizations to plan to apply together? Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe Justin as well. The IUCN question, if we want, we can also get.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer that.
Perfect, Josh. Thanks.
Should I turn off my video again? Or
we can hear you. Fine.
Okay. Yeah, just about the platform. Again, as with all SGP elements, learning and awareness raising is really a key part of what this program, the CSO Challenge program, is all about. Again, this is a relatively small amount of funding for CSO-led conservation, and so a key mechanism that we see for enhancing the effectiveness, replicating, and scaling up the impacts from this program, increasing awareness and support for CSO-led conservation more broadly, is through the knowledge capture and exchange components of the program. So to that, we have a number of key outputs, which will include high impact events, communications and exchange to raise the visibility of the work of the selected grantees and featuring the CSO champions themselves. We're going to organize a total of 4 events, one for each of the cohorts that are selected, together with communication products. We are going to have new knowledge products and case studies based on the CSO Challenge Program experience. So both winning CSOs, the ones that received the 300 or up to $300,000 grants, and the semifinalists will be supported in writing up their case studies, what we call them, based on their initiative. It will use the Panorama platform that you can visit at IUCN, which is a dedicated space for these case studies. We're going to have a minimum of 48 case studies that will come from this program. So we're really looking forward to that element of the program. And then we will have a number of workshops and peer-to-peer trainings and exchanges, community practice that will be established around this program. It'll also link to community practice for the wider SGP program. We're going to support one-to-one person exchanges, personal exchange workshop per regional cohort, and additional virtual exchanges. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. And Justin and Gabriella, please weigh in with anything else I might have missed.
No,
Thank you, Josh.
That was great. Thanks, Josh. I just want to highlight that I did put the URL for the Panorama platform in chat, so please feel free to look at it. And then the last question, or the other part of the question on partnership. Partnerships are not required, but they are, of course, eligible. I mean, that's up to you and your potential partner to decide if that fit is good, if it meets the eligibility criteria, and of course, makes you a more competitive application.
Thank you. Next question from William Usher.
Hi, good morning here in Belize. William Usher. I'm the CEO of the Belize Livestock Producers Association. We have been doing work in regenerative livestock for the last 5 years. We support basically 7,000 farmers within our association. I want to understand clearly what you mean by innovation. As you know, in that area, there are many things, and interpretation is completely different depending on who we are applying to grants for.
Justin?
Yeah, I'll start, and Josh and Gabriella, feel free to pile in. So I can maybe give like the spirit of it, right? So being mindful of the eligibility criteria, it needs to be an innovation that is proven, right? So this is not an opportunity for piloting something for the very first time in the field. So an innovation needs to be proven, and ideally it needs to show impact. So if it's something that's not necessarily been adopted widely, of course that would count as an innovation. If it's showing a new technique or a new programmatic structure, a new way of engaging. I realize I'm being very broad here, but I want to kind of bring it up to other sectors. That would be an innovation. So something that's really going to kind of move that sector or priority area forward, but is not a first of a kind pilot.
Okay, that's important. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, William. Eddie, please.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. I'm Eddie from Northern Kenya. I have 2 questions regarding eligibility. First, are organizations that have been registered for 5 years or less eligible to apply for this call? And the second question is, are there any financial capacity requirements such as a minimum annual budget or turnover that organizations need to meet in order to be eligible? Thank you so much.
Sorry, the first part of the question cut out a little bit.
Is there a requirement on, I believe Eddie's organization is less than 5 years old. So is there a minimum requirement on how old the organization needs to be?
I don't believe so, but yeah, Gabriella's confirming, so that's no. And then the second part was on turnover?
Budget, yeah. If the organization needs to be working with certain budget.
No, there's no hard threshold on turnover either.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to next. We have Mamsamba. Mamsamba Juf. Mamsamba is actually the head of governance subcommittee of the CSO network. Mamsamba, please. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Sagar, and good afternoon, Gabriel. It's nice seeing you again. Yeah, my question is, if you look at the SGP at country level, the project implementation duration is quite short. Usually, in our end here is about 12 months maximum. I mean, what is the duration of implementation for the GEF Challenge program? That's my question. How long is the implementation duration of the project?
Maximum of 24 months.
24 months, okay. Thank you.
As a maximum, yep.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the next. We have about 10 minutes, so let's try to run through the questions. Halake Mohammed, you go next.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Mohammed Alake, representing organization from Northern Kenya, a grassroots organization, indigenous organization from Northern Kenya. Mine is just to ask. I didn't find any link to the application. Is the call already open, or we are waiting for call to be open?
Find
I didn't get
application
any
link. That's the question the person is asking.
Yeah. So the call for Africa is not currently open, but the website will be the same once it is. So I'll just put the link back in chat. Urge you to please navigate on the website. All the materials that I showed today are on this website, and you can find the application document under the Apply tab and all the resources under the Resources tab.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I see a hand up from Mustafa again. Mustafa, I'm going to let you speak, even though, yeah.
Thank you too much. Thank you, Mr. Sagar, Gabriella, Justin, everybody with me. Do you know, after directive of European Union SPAM, this carbon border adjustment mechanism, the condition to comply with the SPAM, it should all factory which export iron and cement and fertilizer and aluminum from Egypt and all world South country should be make MRV system for European Union for carbon footprint. For all these six installation sector in industry. And here we are in Egypt, we have not big expertise to make this MRV system for factory who need to export to Europe. Now the world trade is it's make one condition. It should actual measurement. Actual measurement we have not here in Egypt. Many people do MRV system for calculate carbon footprint. If we not make measurement, real measurement for carbon footprint, the European Union make fun and also will account with you with taxes and the certificate will fine you too much money. And this
Mustafa, I want you to be very concise, please. Let's consider the time.
My question, if this call we can make a MRV system with some factory is acceptable or no?
Thank you very much, Justin.
Yep. So Mustafa, I would ask if you can please send an email detailing the idea, and then we can provide a response on eligibility. It's hard to follow all the details on the call, but please reach out via email. You can find my contact information on the website. I'll put my email in chat as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go next to Eilers. David, please try to be as quick as possible. We want to get as many questions as possible. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Very quickly, I see from the website the call is trying to get applications from youth and women as center of the project. So I just wanted to ask, can the organization applying be also a youth-led organization? And also if it's possible to have a regional consortium coming together to apply for the call. That's my question. Thank you.
You're seeing a lot of enthusiastic head nodding from both Gabriella and us. Short answer is yes to all of the above.
Yeah. Maybe I want to use the opportunity to ask the question here. So more than one organization can submit the same proposal, right? So as the one as being the leader organization and another being the supporting organization. Can the other organization be from a different region? So if there is a potential for inter-regional collaboration.
Is it the organization's in a different region, but the work would be in the region the call's for?
Correct. Yes.
That's a tricky one. Can we? We're gonna have to get back. I'm
Something
virtually looking
for
at Gabriella here, and I'm also seeing. Yeah, we'll talk and come back.
That was too detailed for this right now. We'll keep that in mind.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I believe you have to turn off your camera to be able to speak. But please.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry, no. The only thing I was going to say, I mean, I don't think we want to see anyone gaming the system. So if you have a proposal that could be implemented in many different areas, please just state that at the beginning and how it operates very clearly. So it's not we're not gonna give more chances to how many times you put this application in there, but question no, I'll give a flip answer, but I just want to make that point that yeah, please describe the proposal of expected to work. Okay.
Thank you very much. Let's try to take a few more questions. I believe we can take 5-10 more minutes if that works with you, Justin, Joss, and Gabriella. Saukat Khan, you are next. Please go ahead.
Terms of geographical location, population density, and climate sense. Projects are being implemented in our country with the funding and cooperation of GEF, UN, and other donor agencies. For that, I sincerely thank you and welcome the GERD organizing. My question is whether Bangladesh diversification of agriculture will increase the opportunity to focus more on better use of our wetland and private sector organizations simply doing participatory work.
So
thank you very much.
Especially the proposal submission and others initiatives. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for the question. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, maybe just a blanket answer. For this current webinar, we're not going to answer specifics on individual concepts or ideas. But please, if you do have a question on if your idea is eligible or if you as an organization are eligible, I urge you to please look at the resources first on the website. And if there's still a question or something that's unclear, please reach out and reach out sooner rather than later. So yeah, I know that's not an exact answer that you want right now, but that's to keep it fair for everyone on the call, I think the best approach.
Yeah. Thank you, Justin. Let's go to Samuel Dotse.
So my question is, I have 3 questions. One, how many CSOs are you going to select under the global challenge? That is one. Number 2, in my country, Ghana, the small grant program has a country support strategy that has outlined key focus areas in the OP8. Is it mandatory for anybody who wanted to submit the challenge from Ghana have to go strictly to these ecological zones, or the project can be submitted outside that ecological zone? That is number two. The last one is we have seen examples on the current open where you are trying to give, like, if it's biodiversity and endangered species, you give an example like turtle, marine turtle, biogas here, that sort of thing. Is it the case that, are you talking about replicability and upscaling? Is it the case that those examples that you gave, somebody can replicate same or do same in his or her country, even if it is a new program? Thank you.
Yeah, so I'd start at the top. The global, so amount of awardees across the whole portfolio for all 4 calls, a minimum of 24 awardees. The final amount will depend on the final portfolio of applicants. So we might have a little bit more. Might have more in some region versus another. It really all depends on the final set of applicants, and they will all be judged based off of the eligibility and scoring criteria listed on the website. The second point, I think it's a hard no. I was looking at Gabriella during the question there, but my understanding is no. Yep.
Yes, correct. No, this, you do not have to follow the country strategy or areas that is set in the SGP core. This is broader than that. So the answer is no. Yeah.
Thank you. Let's go. I'm sorry, Justin.
There's the third question. I think I understood, but just in terms of replicability and scalability, just because something's been done in another country doesn't mean you can't apply to do that thing in your country as well. Like I said, just go back to the eligibility criteria, go back to the priority areas. There's example projects there as well. That should be your guiding light.
Thank you. So let's go next. We have 2 more hands. Let's take those. Pasania, Vincent, please feel free to unmute your microphone.
Okay, thank you very much, Sagar. And thank you for this wonderful webinar. My name is Benson Fasanya from Center for Earthworks, Nigeria. My question is actually in relation to the CSO challenge. I notice I need clarity on, is it only for projects or proposals that are only on conservation? Because part of the key area of focus mention chemicals and waste. So must the project focusing on the issues of conservation? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep, great question and a good point to flag here. So the guidance document provides those 5 priority areas. You mentioned chemicals and waste. Your project or proposed innovation needs to fit within at least one of these priority areas. There might be overlap across 2, and that's perfectly fine. Just within your program description and narrative, please highlight the main priority area. But of course, there's potential for overlap across some of the priority areas as well.
Thank you. With that, let's go to Aliu. Please unmute your microphone.
Yeah, hello everybody. Thanks for this wonderful opportunity. My question actually has been partially answered, because I think like some of the questions posted were related to what I'm gonna ask, but maybe I can just still say it since I'm already on the queue. So it's then in your selection criteria, actually, is there a specific sector that you will like concentrate in doing the selection? For example, let me just say, like some people recently, I know they did a lot of things about like protein, trying to get more protein. So they did with livestock. Some people went into orientation. Some people went into renewable energy, like creating solar power light. Some people like try to control erosion by sensitizing people on how to plant trees. So these are all different set of projects, but actually they are related to the environment, right? So I don't know whether it's like some of those are not included, or you have a specific, like a sector that you just based on selection, or is it going to be broader than that? Thank you very much.
No, thank you for the question. And a similar answer to the previous one. So within those 5 priority areas, and thank you, Prem, for dropping in as well.
Let me introduce myself. So actually, I'm Aliu from Empowerment Strategy for Women and Youth Development Initiative, Nigeria. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. So yeah, in short, it needs to fit within one of these 5 priority areas. There's not a specific sector that the call is focused on. It's these 5 priority areas are the categories. And of course, there might be overlap between. You did kind of raise a point that I maybe should have covered earlier. And this is in terms of the backgrounds of the reviewers. So the reviewers also will come from a wide range of backgrounds with different sector expertise. So we will have energy experts reviewing energy proposals. We will have ag experts reviewing ag proposals. So there will be sector expertise reviewing your application as long as it fits within those 5 priority areas.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. If there is a question we did not answer, feel free to share that to us and we'll be more than happy to answer. We are running out of time, so a big thank you to our speakers, Gabriella, Joss, Justin, for being so generous and so practical with our audience today and having this time for us. And to everyone here, the call is open. If today made the process feel a little clearer and a little more within reach, then it did its job. That was our goal. Do not let the barriers we talked about hold you back. If you're a smaller grassroots organization or a first-time applicant, this challenge is for you too. There is going to be a feedback sent to all of you on Luma where you registered. So you will get an email with a link. It would be really valuable for you to share how you found the session and what we could do to improve and what we could do next. One more thing before we go, if any one of you are planning to be at the CBD COP in Armenia or the COP 31 in Turkey, and you would like to collaborate with the CSO network, do let us know. If you have not joined the WhatsApp group of the CSO network or don't have our contacts, just let us know in the chat. We'll be more than happy to share. Please let us know. We'd like to work together with you in organizing something beyond this. We will share the recording and any resources that Justin pointed to today. And we will also be back with another session. So keep an eye out. Invitations will come same way. Thank you all and good luck with the applications. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Sagar.
I will stay on the call
so much,
for any
everybody.
questions, but Joss, Gabriella, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sagar.
Thank you, Sagar. Thanks, everybody.
Wonderful.